In the 1880s, the Oregon Short Line Railroad laid tracks across a sagebrush desert in the Idaho Territory. They built a structured transit junction to service the trains, and a town grew around it. Co-founders Alexander and Hannah Duffus wanted this new settlement to remain strictly moral. They refused to sell town lots to anyone building a saloon, earning the early town the nickname New Jerusalem. By 1946, Nampa had shed its puritanical origins and launched a coordinated campaign to flex its commercial muscle, officially earning the title Main Street America. Local retailers successfully kept consumer spending inside the city limits, driving downtown sales up 121% in a single 12-month span. If you wanted to buy goods in the Treasure Valley, you parked on a dense, weather-exposed grid. The traditional downtown model dominated regional commerce. Following World War II, the region's demographics fractured. Nampa's population grew rapidly, but those new residents were settling on the edges of the city rather than the center. Sprawling tract housing and a rapidly adopted car culture physically separated the neighborhoods where people lived from the blocks where they historically shopped. The dense, rigid downtown grid could no longer efficiently handle the daily influx of vehicles coming from these decentralized developments. The Treasure Valley required a modernized place to gather, a commercial hub built entirely around the convenience of the automobile. To capture this migrating wealth, Nampa abandoned its century-old Main Street architecture to test a completely weatherproof commercial format. In 1965, developers opened Karcher Mall. It was the first fully enclosed shopping center in the Treasure Valley. Shoppers parked in a massive asphalt lot and browsed dozens of national retailers under a single climate-controlled roof, completely insulated from Idaho's harsh winters. The mall generated intense commercial gravity. Real estate agents began classifying the surrounding residential area with its own geographic identifier, the Karcher housing market. For over 2 decades, whether you were a teenager looking for a weekend hangout or a family outfitting a new home, this specific building served as your social anchor. The solution to the suburban retail problem dictated local commercial habits, and it physically redrew the map of where residents chose to buy their homes. In 1988, a massive new competitor opened 20 miles away, the Boise Town Square Mall. The commercial center migrated toward the newer hub in Boise. This chart tracks Nampa's population against Karcher Mall's viability. As the mall enters dead mall territory, Nampa's population accelerates. Between 2000 and 2010, it surged 49.6%, just as the mall boarded its windows. A city's demographic health and its retail architecture can entirely decouple. A boomtown can thrive even as its most famous building dies. Today, Nampa is preparing for a projected population of over 125,000 residents by 2026. This influx brings a young workforce, dropping the city's median age to just 33. Absorbing thousands of young professionals creates an immediate, severe demand for modern, mixed-use housing. City planners face a massive spatial constraint. A sprawling, obsolete indoor mall is occupying acres of premium, centrally located real estate. In a high-growth urban environment, abandoning a massive structure is a luxury it cannot afford. Spatial utility demands adaptation. In 2022, developers announced the official end of the Karcher Mall era, rebranding the massive site as District 208. Through a strategy of adaptive reuse, the retail footprint is being gutted and converted to hold over 250 apartments, storage facilities, and modernized commercial spaces. After 60 years of pulling housing developments towards its parking lots, the building is returning to its roots as a residential catalyst by placing the residents directly inside the former mall walls. Gutting the mall to build housing demonstrates Nampa's long-term economic resilience. In a high-growth boomtown, historical structures are physically remodeled to serve the exact utility the new era demands.